Hi, Super Friends. I'm Jason Inman. I'm the writer and creator of the comic book series Super Best Friend, and I'm here for issue 2 of Super Best Friend, coming to you on Kickstarter. It's like a dream come true. We had a very successful campaign with the first issue for Super Best Friend, and issue 2 of Super Best Friend, 48 pages of superhero goodness, is going to be a joy. It's going to be a treat because, my friends, I remember a time when it was hard to watch superheroes. It was hard to buy them. Comic book shops were not around, digital comics were not a thing, and we didn't have the buffet of amazing superhero movies and television shows that we have now. I remember when you had to trade comic books in school to your friends to make sure that the popular kids didn't see it. Even the silly ones that, you know, everybody thought was too goofy, but you still loved them anyway. Like when the superhero got electric superpowers, or when the superhero got turned into a cyborg, or when the superhero, you know, just exploded with purple energy. No matter how silly it was, you still loved it because, like you, I love superhero comic books. And comic books today, they seem to be events and darkness and darkness and events. And I wanted to find a way to go back to fun superhero comic books. And Kickstarter is the key to that. Kickstarter is the place where I can make comic books about goofy Silver Age adventures, where superheroes have too many sidekicks and silly powers, where I could embrace the joy and the fun and the zaniness, where I could make exactly the fun superhero stories that I am not getting anywhere else. And I just want to say that if you are listening to this and you're asking yourself that exact same question, then here, strangers, let me give you some tips. The easiest way to make the fun comic books that you want to see, that you want to enjoy, is to ask your friends and ask your strangers. And that's exactly what I did with Super Best Friend issue 2 here on Kickstarter. Because if you don't do that, how will your dream ever come true? So I've always wanted to work with George Kembadize. He's the artist right here on Super Best Friend. He does these amazing, amazing spreads. And I asked him to help me out with Super Best Friend, and he said yes. My good pal, Taylor Esposito, was an amazing letterer. I said, hey, come letter my book. He said yes. I talked to an amazing editor that I've always wanted to work with, Brittany Matter, and I said, hey, will you edit my book? Will you make sure that my words don't sound stupid? She said yes. And then lastly, my friend, I shot my shot. I went and talked to a comics legend, a friend that is an amazing artist that should not be working with me, Mr. Dan Jurgens, creator of Death of Superman, Booster Gold, all these things like that. And I said, hey, Mr. Dan Jurgens, will you draw a cover for my Kickstarter? He said yes. That's right. So if Mr. Dan Jurgens will draw a cover for a goofy old Kansas farm boy redneck like me, then I know you can also find success here on Kickstarter, just like I can. And that's the great thing about Kickstarter, and that's the thing why I keep coming back to Kickstarter, is because anyone can do it. You can make anything you want on Kickstarter. And that is why I'm asking you to help support and pledge and help make Super Best Friend issue 2 a reality. This is a 44-page superhero comic book. Fans of Superman, fans of Booster Gold, fans of Spider-Man will not want to miss Super Best Friend. By the way, just FYI, this is my 7th crowdfunding campaign. The first issue of Super Best Friend was a great crowdfunding success, and I'm here to continue the story of Mattie Moore. This is part 2 of 3 for Super Best Friend. And the whole pitch of the series is, what if you live streamed your best friend's secret identity to the entire world? That's the main character. That's the crux of Super Best Friend. Mattie Moore is the young Super Best Friend, and he has many friends, including the world's greatest superhero, Captain Terrific. And he records the Captain's acts of heroism for everyone to see on a channel called Super Best Friend. Now, in issue 1, based on clues from Mattie's live streams, the dastardly and evil Citizen Tyranny. Do you see the CT names? CT, Citizen Tyranny, CT, Captain Terrific. It's like I wrote this on purpose, guys. He figures out the civilian guise of Captain Terrific. It's Calvin Coleman. That's right. And accidentally, during the scuffle, when Citizen Tyranny attacks Captain Terrific, Mattie Moore, Captain Terrific's best friend, accidentally broadcasts Calvin Coleman's secret identity as Captain Terrific to the entire world. Now, Mattie is upset. He doesn't know what to do, so he decides to help his best friend put his secret identity back in the bag. And he's going to do that in Super Best Friend issue 2 through many zany adventures, including meeting some terrific and astounding terrific doppelgangers, you know, because what is a comic book without doppelgangers, right? He's gonna help join the supergroup, the Assembly, and he's gonna go on a road trip where tanks chase him. Check out that image, that's right. What do tanks have to do with this? You're gonna have to read the comic book to find out. All my joy for superheroes, all my joy for comic books that I was talking about in the beginning of this video, you get that in this 48-page comic book. And there's lots of tiers that you can use to help out the campaign. Like, you can get the exclusive Dan Jurgens variant cover that I was talking about that will never be printed anywhere else. It is so gorgeous. It has colors by Elizabeth Kramer and inks by John Livesay. John Livesay also is somebody else that I desperately wanted to be working with for a long time. He's inked Spider-Man, the Legion of Superheroes, and he's known for his book, Slow City Blues. Also, there's a very awesome, cute, and zany Silver Agey thing that I wanted to do, and that is a dialogue cover. There's also a variant cover by Comicer Girl on Twitter, who also did a variant cover to my issue 1. So go check those out, because who doesn't love dialogue covers? And there is a tier where you can get both. But my favorite thing to do on Kickstarter, this is another reason why I love coming to Kickstarter, is there is a cameo level. So if you've ever wanted to see your face drawn into a comic book, this tier, you can get yourself drawn into a comic book as a character that will talk to Mattie, that will talk to Captain Terrific. So if you are watching this and you are saying to yourself, hey, times are tough, I can't donate to Super Best Friend, it looks super cool, I love that cape, but I just can't make it a reality right now. I totally understand. But you know what else could help? A retweet or sharing this campaign on your social media. That is just as important as donating to the Super Best Friend campaign. So Super Friends, we started out this video talking about the joy of comic books, and that's where I want to end it. I want to tell you the story of when I first met our variant cover artist, Dan Jurgens. It was at WonderCon, and it was at WonderCon 2015. I was a big fan of Dan Jurgens because the very first comic book I ever bought was a trade paperback for The Death of Superman. And I took it up to Dan and I asked him to sign it, and he signed it and he looked at it and he said, "Whew, you've read this a long time, haven't you?" And I said, "Yeah, over and over and over." And he said that was the greatest compliment ever that he could get from a comic book fan, to see that his work had been poured over by somebody who just loved him. And this is that trade paperback that I had Dan sign the very first time. As you can see, it's well worn with love. And to be working with an artist of Dan's caliber, somebody who I've loved for a long time, and now he is drawing my characters, it is a fanboy dream come true to have him also be working on Super Best Friend. So I need your help to make me keep this dream alive and to keep Super Best Friend going strong. That's what Super Best Friend issue 2 is. It's all about the joy and the love of comic books and superheroes. So pledge early, pledge often. superbestfriendcomic.com is where you can find it. Shout it out to the rooftops. And if you know someone that likes superhero comic books out in their universe, then please tell them what we're doing over here. If you need fun, adventurous superhero comic books in your world, then support Super Best Friend issue 2 today and don't miss out on the fun. I'm Jason Inman. Thanks for watching, Super Friends.